Welcome to CoSpaces. One of my very, very favorite presenters for ed technology is Leslie Fisher. Follow her on not Facebook, Twitter and Facebook. Actually, you can follow her and get some amazing tips. And she showed this site one day on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook, and that's where I saw it. And I looked in, and I was like, you know what? That's pretty awesome, because the kids love this. They are never too old to like this kind of stuff. As I got in there to test it out before I assigned it for a lesson one day, I had a little too much fun, and I think you will too. I think your kids will love it. This is a 3D environment creator that can be used across, I think, all subjects. Again, and in the link that I'm giving you guys, I showed you examples, but this is the home page. So let's take a look at it. First off, before I even log in, let me show you the gallery of what I'm talking about on where you can use this everywhere. I used it, we do a Shark Tank project towards the end of my global business class. And they have to create their company. And if you have a company, you kind of need an office, right? And it needs to be set up properly. And so I let them create their office or company or storefront business. Like some of them had a clothing store, some of them had a salon, some of them had like a sports agency, and they designed it and used it, and it was amazing. And if I can find it, I'll show you some examples. But let's look at this. This is the gallery on their site. Where are my science teachers at? They had the students go in, and I don't know if this is right or not, so you don't grade me, but they had to build the DNA model. I think that's pretty cool. Let's go back. Government. How many of you are still trying to wrap your head around the Electoral College and how it works? So some teacher had their students take the map and put on there how many votes each state gets. Now, and you can then navigate through here and see. I don't know if this is right or not, again, but it's just the idea of how you could use it in other subjects. Another one I thought was pretty sweet was, if I can find it real quick, history. This teacher did the Battle of Waterloo. I don't even know how relevant that is to what we teach in history, but I would imagine there's some battles that they could map out this way and show how it was done. And it had them, if you look closely, they typed on here. And they have their flags, how many men were in each troop, the guns that were used, and then it's easy for them to see how and why somebody won and somebody lost, right? And it's just a really cool platform. Last but not least, my English teachers, look at this one. Having the kids grasp the setting. And so this is Lord of the Flies, and they made them recreate the island. And you know, back on the home page, it has little kids doing this. So I promise our kiddos can do this. Let's get started. Sign up if you don't have an account, and again, it's free. So I log in. It already knows my Google. You can just use your Google account. These are some of my projects. I was showing the kids, you know, how to set up an office and whatnot. But they go in and they create an account with their Google account that they already have. Create project. And this is the environment. Now, down at the bottom basically is everything you need. You click, you have the library of things that can be used, the environment, and so you set, okay, is it sunny outside, cloudy, dark? So I'm going to go sunny. You can decide whether it's round, whether the world's round or flat, right? You can determine the size of your environment between medium and large. When you click on environment, it will give you options. So if they're out in the desert, you would click desert and it puts them in the desert to start their build. Or snowy, grassy. They can also, if you go back to this screen, you can go in, if I went in, click here, if I chose, I have a whole slew of just like digital graph paper on, or not graph paper, but where is it? Like scrapbook paper just for use in other stuff. I could come in here and choose that if they saved. This is how they did that map. And it's going to load. It might take a while. I hope I didn't just pause this out, but it should show up here in a minute. But let's say I need to start adding stuff. You can add a person, so I just click and drag them out. You can determine how big they are. So there's that paper that came in there. I can click, double click. I can name them. I can have them talk. Maybe your character needs to say something. I can change the color of their shirt, turn them into a ram, set the rotation and all that good stuff. You can lock them to where I cannot move them any longer. Apparently I created more than one. So here's this other person. When you double click on them, you can also take them off. So here's my first person. Let's look at maybe building. If you click here, there's 3D objects, building blocks. I need to start building a wall. So here's my wall. And you can zoom in, click down. It's like a real 3D. And you start to build a wall. I mean, it's endless as to what you can do in here. So how did they do the DNA? Well, where'd the ball go? They to town. There's the ball over here. So this is how they started that build. Okay.
This is new, the marketplace. I don't know. It gives you a certain number of coins. I have not played with this. You do not want them to do that. So I'd keep them out of the marketplace. But the library has tons of stuff. Web image search. Maybe I want a window. You can add stuff from, now this has a white background so it doesn't really work, but I could add that, you know. You can add stuff from the, it's kind of crazy how much stuff. I don't know what special is. It's worth a shot though. If you double click, you have to play with that one to see. I haven't played with that one. But I just wanted to show you all this because I think there could be some super awesome stuff done with this. When you're done, you can hit play and it'll show you what somebody that's just maneuvering around in here would do. When it comes time to share, gives you a QR code that they could turn in. If they copy and you go to Google Classroom, they can turn in a link. They can email it to you. One thing I did have mine do, let's say this was my finished product right here. I had them get to where I could see what I needed to see for them. And then I had them use the snipping tool. I've taught all of my students how to use the snipping tool. And I had them just select their area, save it as an image, and turn it into me that way. So that's just another alternative. Just another really fun, I think, way to get our kids involved. And this is the stuff they want. And I think they really teach themselves as they go through this. So let me know if you have any questions.